Monday! It is week 2 of the CMW Spring Challenge. I cannot believe we're already in April of 2023. This year is going so fast. I'm super excited for today's Mindset Monday because this is, quite frankly, your greatest enemy. It is your greatest roadblock in terms of reaching your health and fitness, weight loss, weight maintenance goals. It's not the food you're eating. It's not your workouts. It's what's right between your ears, which is your brain. Okay, the biggest roadblock in your journey, and really not just on health and weight loss, but like any thing you're trying to achieve in your life, is self-sabotage. All right, so today I am going to talk to you about what self-sabotage is, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it causes, and ultimately how you can overcome this self-sabotage in your life. All right, so comment below if you're watching me live. Say, hey, Kristen, what's up? If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And you're definitely going to want to take notes today. I actually wrote out some notes for today's talk because there were so many good nuggets, so many golden nuggets you're going to get today. So you're going to want to take some notes. You're going to want to watch this video again. Hey, Caitlin, how are you? Welcome back. You're going to want to watch this again, revisit your notes. What's up, Cindy? Mindset, your favorite topic. I can see you twice in one day. Awesome. So make sure you're taking notes, okay? Because I'm going to lay it out for you because I'm sure you've heard about self-sabotage, right? So maybe comment below if you're watching me live or email on the replay. Comment below with what self-sabotage means to you. I want to know what you guys think it means. What do you think it means, or what do you think it sounds like? Or give me an example of how you self-sabotage. Okay. Caitlin, watching live because I'm a chronic self-sabotager. All right, so Caitlin, what do you mean by that? Tell me one thing you do to self-sabotage chronically. And I think I understand what you're saying because I'm going to give you an example, guys. Like, I tend to get overwhelmed and then I just like kind of push back. Okay. So for example, I'll like procrastinate or I'll just kind of like sit in inaction, right? Okay, Caitlin, not listening to my body and overindulging, okay? Doing something you know is not right. Yep, that's right, Cindy. And then that goes along with what Caitlin said, not listening to my body and overindulging. We know overindulging is not right, but we still do it. And why? Okay, so what I'm going to do today for you guys is I'm going to give you 3 concrete examples of self-sabotage, and they're different things we see in our life, okay? And then I'm going to go over some other examples of so give you 3 examples of self-sabotage, what they look like in your life, okay, just to be clear. And then I'm going to show you just how severe these have an impact on your health and weight loss journey and other areas of your life. Because I can't tell you guys how often people that want to lose weight or they want to tone up or they want to get healthy, whatever their goal is, they're like, oh my God, like if I just count my calories or if I just, follow this meal plan or if I just log all my food in an app, like I'm going to be successful. And if I work out 5-6 days a week, if I'm just drinking a gallon of water, like if I'm just doing all these things, I'm getting my steps in, I'm going to see results. And that, I hate to tell you, is not totally accurate. Because even if you're doing all the right things, there are still ways we self-sabotage, and that's going to hold you back. All right, and I've learned this over the years because believe me, guys, there were phases of my life, and I've seen this in clients in the past, where they are doing the right things, and they're still suffering from digestive issues. They're still not sleeping properly. They're still missing some key things that will bring them tremendous joy. And in order for you to be successful on your health and weight loss journey, not just to get to your goal, but maintain your results for the rest of your life, you gotta be freaking happy. You gotta be doing something that preserves your energy and protects your emotions, not trigger negative emotions, right? So that's what I wanna talk about today. And this is why I always wanna start Mondays with a mindset talk. Gotta set you up for success, okay? And that's what we're committed to in CMW. I hope you all got the Friday email. Comment below if you didn't. There's something wrong there then, because last Friday we sent out all the recordings from last week. So like last week's Mindset Monday, our coaches talks from last week, and then the schedule of what we're doing this week. All right. without further ado, get those pens ready, get your fingers ready to take notes on your phone, whatever you need to do. Do not just sit there and watch this. Take action, all right? Write this down. All right, so self-sabotage. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over 3 key examples of self-sabotage. 3 types of self-sabotage. Because self-sabotage is like an umbrella, all right? And then underneath of it are key examples of self-sabotage. And these 3 examples or types of self-sabotage is specifically what we work on in CMW. All right, so what do we mean by self-sabotage? So the first one, you guys, let me go over here. All or nothing mindset. So I have like a little key up here because I'm going to go through like some specific things that are happening in your life or like specific thoughts that you're having, and we're going to label them as one of these 3 types of self-sabotage. All right, so teacher Kristen's coming out today. Hope you're all ready. It's pretty fun. All right, so all or nothing mindset. So Cindy's on here live, super excited because if you watched her interview on Thursday, she talked about how she really overcame this all or nothing mindset during her 16 weeks with us. All right, and some of you probably have heard of this all or nothing mentality, okay? And what we mean by all or nothing is you're either all in on something or you're just like not interested. So for example, let's say like you're following a diet, like you're doing all the right things, you're working out, you're eating well, you're drinking water, all the things, right? For a few weeks, maybe a month, right? And then something happens in your life. Maybe you go on a trip. Maybe you have a really crappy week at work. Or maybe you just like lose that momentum and you're just like, ugh. And then you just fall off the wagon totally. And then we're barely exercising, if at all. Our food choices are poor. We just start ordering food. We're not cooking really much. Ooh, found a lip gloss in my pocket. That's awesome. Don't you love life talks? And then we just kind of fall off the wagon. And then guess what? We wait a few days, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then we're back on the market. We're back on track. So it's like very on or off, right? So it's almost like this perfectionist mindset, right? I'm either going to do it 100% or I'm a 0. Comment if that's you. And you guys, Cindy, even for you, love, it's okay if you're like, you know what? Sometimes that all or nothing mindset comes up. Maybe sometimes, not all the time, but like once in a while. That's okay, right? And some people are super successful in other areas of their life if they're all or nothing. All right, like if I'm going to build a business, right, I'm going all in. And that's what I've done. All right, I do it in some parts of my life. And then other people, you know, like it just gets overwhelming. I would say on the health and weight loss journey, it's important to go all in with your intentions. And like, you know what, like I am so committed to my health and wellness, right? Like this is something that is a non-negotiable for me, right? So you're going all in. And honestly, like our best clients, when they join us, one of the reasons why they're successful, one of many reasons they're successful, but one of the reasons they're successful is because they have this mentality when they come in. They're like, I am 100% committed to this process. And I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest my time, my energy, my money into this because I am confident that this will work for me. Because I have done everything and I can see this is different. I understand CMW is different. And that's why Cindy signed up with us after the last challenge, right? Because of that mindset. So I don't want to say that the all or nothing mindset is the worst thing in the world, because it's not. It can get you somewhere. The question is, will you follow through to the finish line, right? So if it gets you in the door, awesome. But then you got to make it work long term. And so that's where we come in and help with breaking free of that all or nothing mindset. Because when it comes to like eating perfectly, we know that's really difficult to do. I'm not a perfect eater. And I'm actually going to share some photos with you guys here in the group today from my weekend. I had a very social weekend. I really, honestly, after Friday night, I was like, all right, I'm going to like hibernate in my house, and then plans popped up, and I was like, oh gosh. So I understand that life happens and things don't go as we plan, but we got to get back to, you know, our goals, right? Our goals don't sleep. No? All right. So all or nothing mindset, all right? Number 2 is emotional eating, all right? And you want to make sure that you watch Kisa's talk this Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time because she's going to talk all about emotional eating. That's like her wheelhouse. Keisha and I both have the same background in emotional eating, but that's really her main focus in CMW. And I'll talk about it a little bit today, but that's really, if you know you're an emotional eater, make sure you watch her talk on Thursday. All right. If you're overindulging, for example, eating foods you know don't serve you or overdoing it on foods that don't serve you, right, that could be emotional eating. Most likely it is, but again, we'll clarify that for you. Okay. So I have AON for all or nothing, EE for emotional eating. I know this is a small guy, sorry. And then I have BS right here. and I didn't like spell out the whole thing, but it's gonna stand for bogus statement. Bogus statement. Okay. You can also look at it as like a false statement, or you can just call it bullshit. Let's be serious, right? Because oftentimes you have these self-sabotaging thoughts. And I'm going to show you a few examples right here. And let me tell you something, guys. Thoughts are not facts. Write it out for me in the comments right now. Thoughts are not facts. Say it again. Thoughts are not facts. I don't care if you have to repeat that to yourself 100 times. Maybe you have to write it out every morning in your journal or every night before you go to bed. Because if you know your thoughts are keeping you awake at night, write those thoughts out. Write them on paper. Because, thank you, Cindy. Because oftentimes, guys, those thoughts, right, they are killing your goals. You are getting in your own way. And the majority of the time, those thoughts are not facts. So why are we listening to them? Okay. And it's really powerful sometimes to write those thoughts on paper and you look at them and you're like, wait, what? That's not true. Right? Not always. Sometimes you're like, yeah, that's true. Like maybe you're stuck in that. And that's where our coaches come in, CMW, and we help you like break free of those thoughts and move forward in your life. But sometimes like if you're just stuck in your own head, you've got like thousands and thousands of thoughts going through your head in one day. And I challenge you guys, if there's a lot of negative thoughts going on in there, write them down. And start to cross one off, one after another. Because I guarantee you at least half of those thoughts are not true. They're BS, bogus statements. Okay? So here's what's going to happen today. We're going to go through what self-sabotage looks like or sounds like. We're going to go through 5 thoughts that you're having. Okay? Maybe you're only having a few of these, but in my experience, a lot of us experience all of these thoughts, myself included. All right? So we're going to go through these 5 thoughts, and then we're going to label them one of these 3. Okay? So this is going to be an interactive, fun little lesson today. You all ready for this? And you're going to really learn a lot from this. You're going to learn how to move forward in your life and stop self-sabotaging. Okay, let's get started. So, first self-sabotaging thought, thank you all, is I'll start again on Monday. Well, it's Monday, right? I'll start again on Monday. How many of you, put a hand emoji here in the comments if you've said this in your life? Maybe you said it yesterday, or maybe you said it on Friday. I'll start again on Monday. Let me tell you guys something. Friday night, I'll post a picture of this later. I was out with my girlfriends. I actually ate really healthy all day because I knew I was going out with my friends. And like I ate a healthy dinner. Then we had like Prosecco starting at 7 p.m. right after our bar class. And then we went to my friend Shayna's house. And she got all these healthy appetizers. Don't get me wrong, we had lots of healthy food options. But it was just the Prosecco, right? And then, you know, I woke up the next morning like a little hungover, not gonna lie. I drank a ton of water. We are like water, I'm like the water police with my friends. But like, you know, I was already off track a little bit Saturday, right? So I understand if you get into this mindset of I'm gonna start again on Monday. Guess what, guys? That will never be my philosophy, ever. Because that is an example of which one of these self-sabotaging items here. Which type of self-sabotage is that? All or nothing mindset, emotional eating, or is that a bogus statement? What do you think? Which one is it? 1, 2, or 3? You can even just type the acronym in there. AON or emotional eating. I'll start again on Monday. Well, Cindy, you know what? I know that based on like my personal example, that would make sense as a reply. Yeah, but like if someone's saying, you know what, like I messed up, I'm just gonna wait till Monday to start over again. What's that? What kind of mindset is that? I'm just gonna wait and start over because I messed up. Friday night's a wash. I might as well just like go off diet Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll start Monday. What is that? We are all or nothing with that mentality. Okay? So, all or nothing, right? So I'll start again on Monday. So what happens, guys, is when we have this mentality, it causes us to be yo-yo dieters, meaning we're on and off, on and off, on and off diets. All or nothing. Yes, indeed. AON, all or nothing, right? So yo-yo dieting, if you have classified yourself as a yo-yo dieter, I've heard this all the time, that's an example of an all or nothing mindset, okay? I even have some friends in my life who do this. It's interesting. Like, I'm not going to say names, but like, they will, and again, I'm not judging anyone, teach their own, right? But like, they'll go, do all the things, be super healthy for weeks, and then there's like 2-3 weeks where they're just like partying it up, eating all the things, like whatever it is. And I'm like, that's really all or nothing, right? Or like, you know what? Some people like they'll work out really hard for 3 months and then take off for 4. Right? All or nothing. Yo-yo exercisers. They exist. Comment below if you're a yo-yo exerciser. Okay. Yo-yo dieters can also be like trying all different diets, right? You're on this diet and then on to the next one. You're jumping ship. Maybe you have like shiny object syndrome. I also consider shiny object syndrome, meaning that you're always looking for the next thing, right? And there's a lot of people in like the weight loss supplement space, like they're like, oh, I'm gonna try this product, and then I'm gonna go try this like fitness device. I'm gonna go try this. Like they're always looking for the next best thing. And the reason why they're always looking for the next best thing is because they're never fully committed to the one thing they're working with. Or they've only tried this thing for 2 weeks and they're not getting immediate results, and then they're on to the next. That's also an example of all or nothing. Comment if that's you. And you know what's really funny, guys? Like, I've even had clients in the past where they're in our program and they're seeing results. They're successful. Like, everything's working beautifully. And then they're like, I just read about this, like, other diet. Like, what do you think of it? Or like, I found this product online. Like, what are your thoughts? And granted, guys, in CMW, we're all about education. Like, I will happily tell you what I think of this diet or this fitness product or this workout class or like whatever it is. Like, I'm happy to give you our education. However, what I always say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Right? Why are we going to go change up our nutrition? Why are we going to go change up our fitness plan or try a new supplement or whatever if what you're doing is working? Right? And oftentimes it's this perfectionist mindset. Well, I gotta be doing it better, right? Or like, it's not fast enough, so I gotta like keep going. And this is where coaching comes into play, and it's like uber helpful. Let the experts tell you where you should be. How fast should you be losing this weight, right? Like, is there really a way to optimize your nutrition or your fitness? Do you need supplementation? Or are you good where you're at? And guys, I want to explain something to you. I have mixed feelings about complacency, right? Obviously, I'm a very ambitious person. Okay, I work really hard. I want to push everyone in my ecosystem, like my friends, my family, my clients. I want them to all rise up to their fullest potential. I want to empower everyone around me. But sometimes you have to let good enough be good enough. And this is where the all or nothing mindset can get in your way of your happiness. Not just your success and your goals, but your overall happiness in your life. Because sometimes if you complicate things too much, that's going to hinder your progress more. Because causing more stress to your life, right, is going to make you bloat. It's going to affect your sleep. It's going to affect your food choices. And then guess what? You're back to square one. You're going to revert. And I said this last week, always forward, never backwards, right? So one of the biggest things we do in CMW is teach you how to change your thinking. So we're not all or nothing. We're not shiny object people. Actually, Cindy threw out some things, right? Right? We're not looking for the next best thing because we know what the best thing is. Okay? All right, so this is an example of all or nothing mindset. Another example of self-sabotage, and then you'll tell me what you think it is. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. All right, so audience, is that all or nothing? Is that emotional eating? Or is that a bogus statement? I know that bogus statement's really small. I'm actually gonna type this up as a graphic and drop it in the group for you guys, okay? So, what do you think it is? All or nothing, emotional eating, or a bogus statement? Cindy, good job, bogus statement. Caitlin, I know you're watching live too, girl. Who else is live with me? Is it just Cindy and Caitlin? Okay, well anyway. Yeah, it's a total bogus statement. Because guess what, guys? What do you think I'm going to say? Those of you who've been with me for a while, like, what am I going to say here? I know, well, actually, I repeat myself a lot with similar things. But anyway, we always make time for things that matter. We always commit ourselves and we invest in things we value. So it's really interesting, like, when someone will say to me, oh my gosh, like, this is so expensive, right? Like, you know, if they want to invest in, I don't know, let's say going out to dinner. Oh my gosh, well, this restaurant's, like, so expensive, right? But then, like, they're going to go buy a purse that's $500 or thousands of dollars. I'm not a purse girl, so, like, I'll never understand. I'm, like, I shop at, like, TJ Maxx, seriously. And I love outlets. But, like, people pay for things they value. Right? I will drop $100, $150 on a pair of sneakers because I value my feet. Right? I wear sneakers every day. You guys know I'm like a fitness person. Okay, I've had so many running injuries in my life that, like, I know good shoes are important. So I will invest in my sneakers. Now, am I going to go drop $250 on a pair of stilettos? Absolutely not, because I don't value them. Right? So we put money and energy and time to things we value. So this statement, most of the time, is bogus. Because I want to tell you something. People will tell me, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to cook a healthy meal. I don't have time to go to the grocery store. Like, I can't fit anything else into my day. It's just, like, physically impossible. You want me to go walk? 30 minutes of walking a day? I literally don't have time to go to the bathroom. I don't have time to do that. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. But then I'll hear about, like, people watching Netflix at nighttime for hours, maybe 2 hours. They're binge watching something. Or they're on Instagram for a lot of the day. Or they're just sleeping through their alarm. Right? They could get up at 6, but they're getting up at 7. Or they could get up at 6, but they're like, no, I gotta do 6:30. 30 minutes, guys, is 2% of your day. 2%. But let me tell you something. An extra 30 minutes to your day feels like 200%, right? We have something called the rule of 3 in CMW. We use it for, like, a lot of things. I actually talked about it last week on Mindset Monday, the rule of 3 for alcohol, right? But one of the other ways we use the rule of 3 is with getting up 30 minutes earlier. I'm not asking you to get up hours earlier. And guys, believe me, like, I also sometimes will sleep through my alarm. I understand. I am human as well. However, when we complain, I don't have the time, that's a negative thought. It's self-sabotage. It's bogus. So the new thought you have to have is, I will make the time. Or I can make the time. Or better yet, I do have the time. I can get a 30-minute workout in. You guys, anyone can make the time for a 30-minute workout. Anyone. Even if you can do 20 minutes, that's great. Or a 20-minute walk, right? A meal takes 5 minutes to make. Again, literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You want to go fancy. Okay. All right. So this is, all right. So sorry, go back for a second. So oftentimes when, this is what it sounds like, this BS, oftentimes it leads, what it causes in our life is overwhelm and procrastination. Okay? Because we're telling ourselves, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the potential, I don't have the opportunity. I don't. I can't, I don't. Guess what? That's scarcity mindset. Okay? And when we're coming from a place of lack, right, we tend to feel overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get this done. We feel stressed, right? And there's all this fear that's showing up. Like, oh my gosh, right? And then we just procrastinate. Well, I don't have time to work out. Maybe I'll try tomorrow. Maybe I'll try the next day or the day after that. And then we're back to this. All or nothing. Okay. So this is another example of self-sabotage. Okay, number 3. I'm just lazy. Like, I've literally had consult calls with people, and there's like, I'm just like a lazy person. Like, I'm just like, I really just don't have the motivation to do, like, to work out. Like, I don't want to cook. Like, I don't want to think about food. That's just my personality. I'm just like a lazy individual. Okay? Has anyone here thought that before? And I'm not saying, I'm not using this in the context of like once in a while. Oh, it's just like a lazy Sunday. Like, oh, it's just raining out, you know. Like, that happens once in a while, guys. Like, I'm saying like chronically. Like almost like every day or like multiple times a week. You're just like, I'm just like not feeling it. I'm just like not that kind of person. I'm just a lazy person in general. What is that? All or nothing, EE, or bogus statement. What do you think it is? BS. I was going to guess what you wrote last time, but you're right for this time as well. Okay. This is BS. And I'm going to tell you why it's BS. I'll write it over here. I have more space. All right. It's BS because you are defining yourself. This is a story you are telling yourself about you. Well, I'm just a lazy person. And guys, there's a difference between feeling lazy one day and being a lazy person overall, right? Like, for example, if you learn Spanish in school, right? There's ser, which is to be, right? And then what's the other verb? Like estar, right? Or I forget what the bit is, but like estar, like, you know, estoy hambre, right? I'm currently hungry, right? That's my current status. But ser is like who you are as a person, right? Thank you, Cindy. Yes, I gotta practice. You guys, I just came back from Argentina. I've been gone back for 2 weeks and I forget everything. Crazy. Anyway, so if I tell myself every day I'm just lazy. That's just how I've been as a kid. My whole family is this way. My partner, like, he or she's lazy too, or just like lazy people. Oh my God, you can change that thought at any point of your life. Do you know how many people I've worked with who started out saying that? You know, I'm not a walker. I'd rather Uber somewhere. Like, oh, like, get that many steps, like, not interested. Like, that's just not me. Working out, like, oh, I'd rather sit on the couch. And then guess what? We change their thoughts. We create new thoughts. And that is what Create My Weight is all about. Creating new thoughts. Hey, Regine, how are you? Thanks for joining live. We are creating new thoughts. So this is BS. Because this, guess what, guys? This is just a label you are giving yourself, right? Do you guys ever listen to how you talk about yourself? How many of you are really hard on yourself? Like, you are your own worst enemy. You're your own worst critic, right? There's like a mean girl inside of you. You're not skinny enough. You don't know how to eat. you're never going to get to where you want to be. Definitely. Yeah. You're just in over your head. Like, what are you doing? Right? This is what you learned as a kid. This is how it is. Mean, bogus statements. Your past, your present for that matter, does not determine your future. You are always capable of creating a new future. There is a future self coming down the pipeline. And in CMW, we always talk about your future self. What do you need to do, and how do you need to think, more importantly, for your future self to thank you? And always thinking as your future self. Okay? One of the biggest things you talk about in business, and Regine's a business owner, she knows this, right? As a business owner, you always want to think like your future self, right? 3 years from now, if this was my income level, I had this many clients, or I had this many, if I was, Regine's a great example. If I had this many clients, if I had all these gigs, how would I be operating? What energy would I bring to the table? What would I be doing in my life, right? We want to come from that energy. So that's also on the weight loss journey, guys. Like, I encourage you to think as if you're 30 pounds down. How are you going to be acting? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be just saying to yourself, I'm just lazy. I'm 30 pounds down. I'm just like a lazy human being. I don't do anything good for myself. I don't care that much. No. Start, even if you're not 30 pounds down, even if you haven't lost a single pound, I want you today to start acting like your future self. I'm 30 pounds down. Yeah, I'm walking because I know it's important for me. And you know what? I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to make some healthy food because I'm 30 pounds down and I'm going to keep going maybe. I'm not lazy. I'm committed. I've got this. All right. So those are the new thoughts you have to have. Okay. Hope you're writing down some new thoughts too. But here's something I want to share with you. So when people tell themselves they're lazy, which is a bogus statement, what it causes is inaction. So what I'm trying to show you guys here with this visual, which I will type up for you, is when you have these crazy thoughts, right? This is the action that it causes, right? This is why people are not successful on their health and weight loss journey, right? They're yo-yo dieters. They get overwhelmed and they procrastinate. They don't act. And I'll get to the other two soon. Because of these thoughts right here. Literally. This is self-sabotage in a nutshell. Okay? And this is why, unless you are fixing your thoughts and overcoming self-sabotage, you are not going to be successful on your journey. I hate to break it to you. Or you might be for a short period of time. But sometime down the road, it's going to come back to you. And this is, like I've said before, this is so much bigger than your health and weight loss journey. And I know you're probably thinking, Kristen, there's nothing more important than your health. You're totally right. I always say health first, weight loss second, both a strategy. But there's different types of health. There's mental health and there's physical health. The two are very much related. But mental health, guys, let's be serious. Like, that's what we're here for. And we all want help with that. That muscle between your ears. Cindy, I love that. I took that from you, I think, from our live talk the other day. I love that. Was that you? I'm giving you credit, even if it wasn't. Okay, next one. Oh my God, you guys. This was probably one of my favorites that I hear all the time. I always mess up. Thanks, Cindy. I always mess up. Who here feels like they always mess up? That's me. Hashtag that's me. I mess up everything. I mess up my food. I start working out and then I stop. I feel like sometimes I'm not good enough for my kids, or I mess up at work. I feel like there's something I'm always not doing right. I always mess up. Me sometimes. Okay. We're getting better, Cindy. Good. All right, so I'm going to help you guys with this one because this is a little tricky. All right, so this is probably all or nothing, and it's also BS. Okay? I always mess up because the key here is always, right? I always mess up. Is that true? Oh my God, don't we love that question? Is that true? And this is a great little coping mechanism, or I guess a great way to overcome those negative thoughts when they come up for you. Just ask yourself, like, is this true? Do I really, is this an accurate statement of me in my life? Right? I always mess up. If you ask yourself that question, 99.9% of the time, the answer is going to be no. I don't mess up in every area of my life. So then we know it's BS, right? So the new thought you can have is, sometimes I mess up, but I'm willing to get some help. I mess up when it comes to nutrition, so I probably should learn a little bit more. Or like, I mess up with my own accountability, but I don't mess up in all areas of my life, right? I mess up on following through. How can I get better at that? So what I also want to show you guys here, one of the ways we overcome self-sabotage and is start getting really curious with yourself. Like, well, how do I move forward from this? What skills do I need to overcome this in my life? Because I'm sure this is showing up in other areas of your life too, not just your health and weight loss journey. So I always mess up, all or nothing, right? And it's also some BS. So the problem with this statement and why people are ultimately not successful is because it causes something called fear of failure. Right? Fear of failure. And this is exactly why we as CMW, as our team, we do not bring anyone into our program unless we talk to them. We do a full-on consult. So Regine here, Cindy here, a lot of the alumni in this group, current clients, we have talks to every single person before they sign up for our program. We don't want anyone's money unless we talk to them, make sure they know what they're getting themselves into, because this is a life-changing experience. But like, if there's any bit of this, which is normal to feel this, I want to tell you guys something. When you've tried every diet in the world and you haven't succeeded long-term, this is a very normal feeling to have. I get it. Because subconsciously, this is showing up for you. Okay? But in order to be successful long-term with anything, even CMW, and we're awesome, even to be successful with CMW, we have to stop this from happening. Because I will tell you guys something. I'm going to let you in on a secret here. Even all the success stories you've seen, and we've got a ton of them, even all the success stories, and if you're watching this and you're one of them, feel free to comment. Even though people are losing weight every week and they're down 20 pounds, they're down 30 pounds, maybe they're 40 pounds down, they're probably feeling this right here. Or this is showing up for them once in a while, right? Because subconsciously, they're also like, well, how long will this last for? At what point will I mess this up? Once I leave CMW, oh my God, like, then what? Am I gonna just revert back? And this is actually the reason we created the 16-week program. So CMW was always 12 weeks. That's what Abby did. That's what Danita did. That's what, oh gosh, who else is in here? Did 12 weeks. I don't know, a lot of you guys. Then, I think it was Regine. Was it you? I'm going to give you the credit for this when you're live with us. I think you said there should be a 16-week program. I don't know. Someone said that. And here's why. Because I always found at the 12-week mark was when people were like, oh God, right? Can I really do this on my own long term? It takes 21 days to create a habit. and 90 days to create a lifestyle. So after 90 days are over, there's that fear of failure showing up, even if they've been successful. And this is why we've always said, you know what, even after the program's over, you still have access to us to ask questions and make sure this is truly a lifestyle for you, okay? But we created the 16-week program because people still wanted a weekly call. Like we noticed that last month was like a buffer. It was just like a really great way to boost confidence. And even the people that signed up for 16 weeks, and that's what Cindy did, Regina did 16 weeks, most people now do 16 weeks. That's the overwhelming majority. And even though they know they're doing 16 weeks, it's usually at week 12 where they start getting this little panic, even though they've been successful. And so this is why in CMW we really work on changing your thinking. Like, well, what makes you think that you're not going to do this on your own? And then guess what? All these BS statements come up. Or this all or nothing mindset. Well, I've always messed up in the past. So what's going to stop me from messing up now? Here's why. Because for 16 weeks, we've been drilling things into your brain and teaching you new ways to use your brain and strengthening this muscle between your ears so you mess up way less often. Because guess what? You will never be perfect. I am far from perfect. This is my profession. Okay? None of the coaches are perfect. And we talk about that. So you are no different. And you can still be a beacon of health. You can still be a role model to your children. You can still get in that bikini. And you can still live your life fabulously without being perfect. But the first thing you got to do is get rid of this fear of failure. Okay? Fear is the underlying emotion in all of the negative emotions. All of them. And Keith will talk more about that on Thursday. And honestly, fear is one of the key things in emotional eating. Cindy, that explains why I wasn't sleeping at the 12-week mark. Oh, probably, yeah. it's that something about that 12 weeks. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so this is something we really have to overcome. Because if I'm gonna bet money on this, and I'm not a gambler, but I would put money on this. I'm sure that if you have fear of failure in your weight loss journey, I'm sure I'm sure that fear of failure is happening in other areas of your life. Maybe you're currently in a relationship that doesn't serve you, a romantic relationship, a friendship, and you're like, well, if I don't see this person anymore, if I really minimize my time with them, maybe I'm going to be lonely. Go back and date, get a divorce. No, that sounds awful. I don't want to be lonely. That fear of being alone, right? Or that fear I won't find something better. I've had friends in that relationship. I was in that place in my marriage. I was afraid to leave my marriage early because I was like, well, what if I don't find anything better? And granted, guys, my ex-husband he's an incredible, I actually talked to him this morning. He's an incredible man. I love the guy to death, but I'm not in love with him anymore. And I knew that I wanted to find love again. I wanted that passionate, I wanted that. I'm 37 and I know it's out there for me. I will find it. Or it will come to me. I should say that. It'll happen. I'm not afraid of failing. Right? Or if there's a person in your life that doesn't serve you anymore. Afraid of hurting them? How can you talk to them in a way that is respectful? Right? How can you share what's on your heart? Right? So letting go of this fear of failure. And this is why I always ask people, if they're considering CMW and they're afraid of failing, I always say, well, let me ask you this. Are you the kind of person that if you're struggling, let's say you're having a bad week, let's say you ate off track or you didn't work out or whatever, something happened in your life. Are you the kind of person who's going to reach out and ask for extra help and be honest with us and tell us what's going on so we can help you move forward and feel better about yourself and keep you on track? Or Are you the kind of person who's going to run and hide and just stop what you're doing and give up and run away? And just say, oh, I failed again because I always mess up. And I always say, and Keezy says this too, if you're the kind of person who's going to show up and ask for help, you are committed, you are coachable, you are in this for the long haul, you are going to be so successful on this journey. You're going to kick ass. You're going to be doing an interview with me if you want. You don't have to. I always ask people if they want to. I don't force anything. You're going to be a success story, and you're not only going to be inspired, you're going to inspire so many people in your life because you're willing to ask for help. Because you know what? Like, you're not giving in to failure. Failure is not an option. And let me tell you guys something. On the other side of fear is everything you ever wanted and deserved in your life. And that fear is necessary. Because guess what? When your back is against the wall, figuratively and literally, when your back is against the wall, it's amazing what you get done in your life. When you have to perform. And I ask people, what's going to happen if you don't lose this weight? What's going to happen if you don't get healthy? If you don't lower your A1C? If you don't lower your cholesterol? If we don't improve your sleep? If we don't get exercising because you need to lose weight to have the surgery that you want, or we got to improve your heart health, what's going to happen? What's plan B? What's going to happen if you stay exactly where you are? And if the consequences aren't high enough, if you're happy where you're at, you don't want to change, I would also say CMW is not a good fit for you. That's actually when I would say CMW is not a good fit. I am not afraid to tell people that Create My Weight is not a good fit for them. Because it's not for everyone. We are results driven. We are going to work a lot here and a lot here, and you're definitely going to see a difference here and here. Oh, and your butt too. But we have to start letting go of that fear. Week after week after week, it will subside if you're fully committed, 100%. You're committed and coachable. Oh, I also tell people, if you're the kind of person to run away and hide, something tough comes up in your life, you're like, ooh, like, I'm going to back away, I'm going to pause, whatever. Not a fit. Not a fit. Because guess what? We're here to help you through tough things in your life. We're here to show you, like, you know what? Let's say something happened at work, like the next 2 weeks of work are really stressful for you, or something's coming up. How we're going to help you get through that. Right? Our number one job is to protect your energy. Keep your momentum. Pauses and all that kind of stuff kills your momentum. Well, you took physics in high school, right? What starts in motion stays in motion. We're going to keep you in motion. And any fear of failure that comes up for you, we're going to help you break out of it. Okay? All right, last thought. Food or wine. Well, Regine's live. Hi. Whatever beverage you like. That might not be the healthiest thing ever, but it's still delicious nonetheless. Food or wine is the only thing that will comfort me. Okay, you guys, so full disclosure. There are times where I am fully convinced that the only things that will make me happy are cookie dough. Wine, not so much. I just enjoy wine socially. That's just me. That's just me. I know there are plenty of people, like my mom, for example, like she says like a wine at the end of the night, while she's cooking dinner is a great way to relax her and she enjoys it. And I know, comment if that's you. Comment if it's like the end of the day, a glass of wine is just like the best thing on earth. It's something you enjoy with your partner, by yourself, whatever. Happy hour after work. Yeah, I get it. I'm more of like a foodie. Like if I turn to food for comfort, usually it's like a sweet, right? That's how I was in college. That's how I developed like this relationship with food. Okay, wine for Cindy. Cindy, you like beer. You like wine too? Okay. Whatever it is. My friend Jen yesterday, she's like, I could just go for a margarita right now. So I went to the farmer's market with my friend Jen, and then my dog Master, because he's like my boyfriend really. And then we did this market, we walked around, got lots of meat in, and then she wanted to go get a cocktail. And I was like, well, I gotta be home at 2:00. I have a call at 2:30. I'm not having a cocktail. And even if I wasn't having a call for work, I would have been having water. So I just drank I love the Sarasota Springs like sparkling water. It's in a blue bottle. I love it. It's my favorite thing. And so I got it at this restaurant. I just sat with her and talked, and she's going through a breakup. Well, no, she's broke up with her boyfriend, so I was just trying to like talk to her for a little bit, be there for her. And I had my water, and she had a margarita. That's fine, you know. Totally doable. Oh, there's Cindy's emoji. Yeah. But anyway, guys. So, what do you think this is? Food or wine is the only thing that will comfort me. Is it all or nothing? Emotional eating, or is it BS? A bogus statement. This might be another tricky one, but I think there's an obvious one. Let me get out of the way. Food or wine is the only thing that will comfort me. Yes, it definitely is EE. But is this true? Is it true that the only thing that will make you happy in this moment is X food or X beverage? Like if I really stopped and asked myself, is cookie dough, because you guys, you don't understand how much I love cookie dough. It's ridiculous. I also love, what else I like? I'm a big chocolate person. It depends on the day, yeah. Is it true? Like, honestly. But let's just, okay, 90% of the time, the answer is going to be no, right? That means this is also going to qualify as a bogus statement because we're going to test that. Is this true? Always test that first, guys. Is this true when this negative thought comes up? All right? Usually, that's just like an in-the-moment technique. We've got lots of those. But let's say that 10%, that 5-10% of the time, the answer is yes. You're like, yeah, right now, like a glass of Prosecco. This is me Friday night, actually. I had like a crazy week of work. And then Friday night at 7 o'clock, like I was like, yes, a Prosecco is exactly what I need right now. I'm so excited. But I also planned in my head, I knew we were going to have Prosecco. So I think that's also subconsciously like why I believed that in the moment was because all week I was like, yeah, Friday night I'm having Prosecco with my friends. So again, it was the thought, the previous thought that made this statement come up. So again, if I told myself all week, you know what, like I'm not going to drink Friday night, which I've done that before, right? But I planned for, this week I planned for my Friday night fun. Let's just put it that way. Full disclosure. But yeah, this is an example of emotional eating is also going to be a BS statement. So what this causes, the problem with this, is it creates a poor relationship with food. Okay? Poor relationship with food, and ultimately we feel like we don't have control of food. We feel like almost a codependency, right? Codependency with food. Like, I need that chocolate. I used to need Monster Trail Mix. I need that, whatever it is, okay? But in order to be successful in your health and weight loss journey and also maintain your results long term, we have to change your relationship with food. So we don't always think this. No, I don't have to have a glass of wine at the end of the day. Or like I don't need 3 glasses, right? Yeah, I'm good with 1 or whatever's less, right? Maybe you choose 0. Oh, Regina, I saw your post about the 14 days of no drinking. Awesome! I love that. And I love that you are committed to that, And I think it's great that we can, set these awesome goals, And 2 weeks is like, in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of time. So that's awesome. Share with us how your progress is going. Okay? Okay, what else here? So, in order for you to be successful long term, we want to overcome this emotional eating and help you change these BS statements. So getting help with emotional eating is really helpful. And like I mentioned, Keisa will talk more about emotional eating on Thursday night. So if you think you might be an emotional eater, if you feel this like almost all the time or several times a week even, I would make sure you attend that call because she'll be really helpful there. But anyway, guys, here's again why I wanted to talk about self-sabotage. And I'm going to wrap up here in a moment. I hope you got lots of good notes here. Because again, for many people that we've worked with in CMW, this is the missing link to your success. And even if you've lost weight successfully in the past, and many of you here have, all right, continuing to change your thinking is crucial, because there's always that inner mean girl inside of us, okay? Because I did a talk on this a few weeks ago in the private community. There are two sides to your brain, right? There's the diva, and then there's the queen, right? The diva is that like annoying child that's really negative and like telling you all the bad things, right? Like, you're always messing up. I'm just lazy. I don't have the time. Well, this is all the diva, right? The diva is causing all of this to happen, right? Why am I going to invest in myself again? Because I mess up all the time and nothing's ever worked for me, right? Or why am I going to break up in this relationship? Or like, why am I going to try dating? Why bother dating? Because every date I go on sucks. Do you know how many girlfriends I hear say that to me? Like, I'm just going to stop dating. Every person I meet sucks. Does that mean there's no people out there for you? No, not at all, right? And I'm not saying, they have to invest all their time and energy into dating, right? But it's like, don't lose all hope forever, right? These overt statements are crazy. All right, so anyway, this is honestly what we have to fix to be successful, not just on your weight loss journey, but the results. So like I was saying before, even if you are successful, let's say you do keto or you did something where you were uber successful. Well, how are we going to make it last? How can I make my relationship last? Not just with, a romantic relationship or a business partnership or your friendships. How do you improve your relationship with yourself? And one thing Keisha might mention to you guys on Thursday with emotional eating is your relationship with food directly mirrors your relationship with yourself. So, if you want to improve your relationship with yourself so you can be successful in more areas of your life, including your health and weight loss journey, right? We want to really overcome and learn how to overcome those cycles of self-sabotage, all right? And that is what we are masters of in CMW. I'm not just saying we're good, we are masters, right? There's a reason our community has grown over the years. And people come back and come back. And you know what? There are people that haven't come back, but I'll tell you what, I still get emails and I still see them thriving in their life. They post about it, they'll send me email updates, and they're fine. Because they know what to do. And I also want to share something with you guys about mindset. Because, and I've shared this in the community too, like, self-sabotage is not something, emotional eating, all of these things. When you work on changing your mindset, it's not about getting rid of them 100% of the time. But if you can minimize it, if you can cut it out like 80%, that's amazing. You're going to see really amazing results. So if you're looking for more help with this, I know this is the last week of our challenge, right? Week 2. We end Sunday's the last day of posting. Monday will be our celebration call. Share all your wins from the challenge. But I want you guys to start thinking about, where do you want to go from here? Once Sunday hits, then what? Right? What do you need in order to be successful long term? So you might finish this challenge and you might be like, I'm good. I learned everything I need. I got the tools. I'm just going to go do it on my own, which is awesome. I love that. I want you to have and do what makes you happy. Okay? But if you have some really big goals and you know you're a chronic self-sabotager, like all the time, I want you to know that changing your mindset takes time. You will not change your mindset in 2 weeks. Even in 2 months, you will see progress, but you will not be perfect. That's why we have a 16-week program. on changing your mindset. It's an ongoing thing. Just like you can't just eat healthy meals for 16 weeks and then be like, okay, I'm done now. Game over. Back to, DoorDash every day. No. That's this all or nothing saga. That's why we got to get you out of the all or nothing mindset. Right? So I want you to start thinking about it this week. Okay? Am I self-sabotaging? If I'm self-sabotaging, what does it look like? What does it sound like for me? Write this out. You can add to this list. What else are you telling yourself? And how does it impact your life? What does it cause you to do or not do? How is it holding you back from getting to where you want to be? Write it out, guys. Brain dump. Get this on paper. And then here's what you're going to do. Once you realize this is what's happening, I want you to send it to me. All right? Put it in an email to me. Kristen@createmyweight.com. I'll type it here in the comments. I want you to put it on paper. I want you to own it. Don't brush it under the rug. I'll get to it later. One day I'll learn more about this. This week I'm busy. I got so much going on. Q2 just started. Blah, blah, blah. We're always busy. But guess what? This is BS. We always make time for things that matter. Always. Okay? I want you to email it to me. I'll take a look at it. But before you email it to me, okay, I want you to make sure you're really honest with yourself. I want you to write it down. And in your email to me, I want you to write it out. And I want you to be honest with me. I want you to say, hey, you know what? Like, maybe I need some more help with this. Maybe there is more to this than I realize. And I'll also be honest with you. Writing this out will bring up some emotions. It will bring up some insecurities. It's going to bring up fear. It's going to bring up doubt. It's going to bring up all these things. And I want you to know that's a good thing. It's really good. And I want you to be ready for me to ask you some questions. Because that's what I do to help, right? Not being nosy. But if someone wants my help, I'm going to give it to them. Same thing with Kisa, same thing with Danielle. When we coach you guys, we're asking lots of questions. We're not just dictating. We actually care about what's going on in your life, and we want you to, see results. So again, if you know that after this challenge is over, you're like, ooh, I have some big goals. I want to do more with my life. I'm going to achieve them. And you want some help with that, book a call with us. All right, I'll drop the links below for you to schedule. It's a free call, you guys. Literally, there's no obligations for anything. But if you do this exercise, bring it to the call with you. All right? If you want to schedule a call, that's totally fine. Email it to me. I'm making you accountable today. Okay? This is your accountability for the week. Email this to me, Kristen@createmyweight.com. But if you want to really talk about this and really set up a game plan for you achieving your goals once and for all, you want to be a success story? And again, not for anyone else, but for yourself. The only person you have to write a story for is you. And Create My Weight is about creating your success story and rewriting these thoughts and reprogramming your brain. So if you're ready for that, book a call with us. All right? I'll drop the link below for you. It's createmyweight.com/apply. But I'll also drop it here below so it's easy. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Comment below with your big takeaway. I hope this was helpful for you. I really hope there were some light bulbs going off, fireworks, whatever you want to call them. I always talk about fireworks going off in your glutes and your arms and your muscles during workouts, but I want to know the fireworks going off in your brain. Okay, your most important muscle. Remember. All right, this is officially the longest Mindset Monday I've ever done. Is it the longest training I've done? No, not at all. But it's the longest MM I've done. So I'm going to sign off. Marsha was here. Hey, Marsha, how are you? You are kicking butt in this challenge. Oh my gosh, we have the top 3 people right now. Abby posted in the group today the top 10. And Marsha, Cindy, and Regine are in the top 3. So you guys, ooh, we got how many more days to go? 6, 7, I don't even know. Yes, keep posting. Anyone can win it. We've had some surprises at the end of these challenges. All right. I love moving away from perfection, Marcia said. Yes. Oh yeah, break free of that. All or nothing, no bueno. All right, I'm gonna run. Have an awesome Monday. I love these talks because even I have to go back and listen to myself talk, which is crazy to think about. Sometimes like, oh, my own voice, woof. But yeah, right? I'm really grateful for this community. I'm really grateful. I know this is my last live talk here this week. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to coach some new faces. I'm grateful for the opportunity for some old faces to come back into the community. And I'm very, very much cheering for you, okay? But remember, you have to be your biggest cheerleader, okay? You are your greatest advocate, right? Me first while acknowledging others, all right? Much love. I'll see you in the group this week. All right, bye guys. See ya.